SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
At Domino's, you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 every day. Even today, you ask? Let's check howaboutoday.com to find out. Yep, carry out only. As for this offer, availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Hey, Hadad.
Hello, Borkey.
Do they give out rings for super regional national championships?
Regional?
Yeah. Because I was reliably informed that the national championship was won in the Athens Super Regional. So, does Georgia get rings? Do they put a banner on the outfield wall for winning the Super Regional National Championship?
They might get a ring. You never know. They give out rings for just about anything.
They really do give out rings for anything.
You finish third place in an 8-and-under travel ball championship. You got a ring bigger than a Super Bowl champion out there.
You get beat 42-3 in a Peach Bowl. You still get rings for that, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. So that I don't know. As far as a banner or the actual terminology of national champion, I don't believe that you get that. So we shall see. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. I'm Brian Hadad. He's Michael Borkey. We are coming to you here in the Pearl River Resort Studios. Pearl River Resort. Guys, this weekend would be a great weekend to be at Pearl River Resort, but on the other hand, every weekend's a great weekend to be at Pearl River Resort. Do you want to play golf? Do you want to take the family to the water park at Geyser Falls? Do you want to eat some great food? Do you want to see live shows? Or do you just want to have a relaxing weekend? Make it happen for yourself right now at Pearl River Resort. Book your stay at pearlriverresort.com. C-Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. With C-Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect Bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, and a free smartwatch and tablet to go with it. So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C-Spire store today. C-Spire, inspired by you.
You're not going to miss me at all tomorrow. Not at all. You're going to call me delusional again when I'm gone. That's what you're going to do.
Here's the truth of the matter. I never miss you. When you're here, gone, yesterday, today. This is just 3 hours of my life is all this is. So I'm not going to call you delusional.
You called me delusional.
I said I'm not going to call you.
Cup.
I'm not going to call you delusional again. Is what I said.
But I don't know. I still don't know what I'm delusional over. I don't think we're winning. I don't think we're going to the semi.
You're just so into this team.
Because it's
fun,
my team. It's my team and it's fun and
it's all of our teams. But some of us are just like, But I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than overly disposed.
Yeah, but I won't be overly disappointed unless we get grouped. Then I'll be like, what the hell happened?
That's not going to happen.
No, not at all. Interesting text to start the show. Borkey, thoughts on State possibly getting a visit from Braden Randall. That is certainly interesting. I don't think he's going to play middle infield at State. So I'm confused as to...
State does have a second base job open, right? I think Woodson is probably going to be the shortstop. But second base is open. I think Sean James would be one of the guys you go there. But a little competition doesn't hurt. He had a great postseason. He
did have a very good postseason.
460 in the postseason for the Rebels. If you can bring in a quality player to provide some depth and provide a little competition, why not?
Well, not from a State perspective, from the player perspective.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Maybe that's
what he's thinking. Second base, O'Connor's not just going to hand second base to anybody and just be like, all right, you're yours, go ahead. they're going to have a competition.
Right. But he's good enough to go get handed a middle infield job at like a TCU, which I guess is also in the mix for that. I don't think you're getting handed, like you said, I don't think you're getting handed a middle infield job at State, but there are places that would hand you one.
Yeah.
Not a consistent defender. That's how he lost his starting job. But yes, if you're a State fan and he comes to visit, then yeah, you're excited about the potential of the player. Good player. Yeah. And played his best in the postseason. Mm-hmm. That was the best Braden Randall's been, the whole time, was against good teams, winning a regional and a super regional. So, yeah, interesting stuff there. Somebody says, nobody beats Georgia more than twice, and you don't lose to them more than 6 times. That's what I've learned. Also, Oklahoma owns the state of Georgia.
To knock out Georgia Tech and Georgia was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Oklahoma's run to if they win the College World Series, there's probably not a more impressive run to winning the College World Series than theirs. They beat Georgia Tech, the ACC champion, on the road. They beat Kansas, the Big 12 champion, on the road. On their side of the bracket in the College World Series was Texas and the SEC champion in Georgia. If they beat all of those teams and already, what an incredible run. But if they win this whole thing, gauntlet is the only appropriate adjective for the path that they took to get to the point that they're at right now.
And they've got a tough one coming up with North Carolina. Good chance for somebody other than an SEC school to finally have a shot at winning a national title here. So we'll see how that pans out. But I was talking about this earlier today with someone. Of the 4 teams that were on that side of the bracket, I would have said that Oklahoma was the least likely to win of all 4 of them.
Yes, absolutely.
And yet here they are. It just goes to show it. Ole Miss showed us this when they won the national title. Sometimes the team just gets hot. They just get hot, and they get going, and next thing you know, they're winning the national title.
It is pretty wild. And, Southern Miss fans are going to hate this, but sorry, it's reality. A 14-16 team in the SEC, that record is more impressive than almost any other record in college baseball from a different conference.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's 14-16, now that we know what we know, was more impressive than UCLA's whatever in 3 out of the Big Ten.
Yeah. There's a reason people get mad about the SEC being so high on the RPI and they feel like it's biased or whatever. It's not. The SEC
why.
The SEC is the best baseball conference year in, year out, every year. There's no question about it. And that's why they've won so many national titles in a row. What is it now? Is it 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and now we'll see about 26 if Oklahoma wins.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of different teams, right? LSU's repeated in there, but it's Tennessee, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. There's just so much depth in this conference from top to bottom.
And it's the only conference presently, with the exception of one team, and they vowed to get in the game as well, that top to bottom gets involved in paying players. Mm-hmm. You have 15 SEC schools that are providing NIL compensation for their baseball team in a quote-unquote substantial way. Kentucky's not paying what State is, but Kentucky's got professional baseball players on their team now. No other conference has 15 teams that are paying their players.
Yeah,
the SEC does.
I would agree with that.
But somebody on the text line, though, said, bring it home Sooners, SEC strong. Let's pull for the Sooners, SEC, baby. Here's where I differ from you, though, my friend. You want them to get swept 15-0 and 15-0. You don't need another team winning a championship that you're competing against.
Exactly.
You want Oklahoma to get smoked out of this thing, man.
Yeah, there's no point in rooting for another SEC team at this point. Just let them get eliminated. But that being said, the way they're playing right now, that might not happen. They have a great chance to win, I would say.
Is it really that simple? Like, how did this happen? They just got hot. They just got hot.
Well, yeah. You think about that Ole Miss team, right? That won the national title. They were a super talented team, right? They were ranked in the top. They were number one in the nation at one point, I want to say. And, they dramatically underachieved all regular season long and got lucky to get in the postseason. This Oklahoma team was just okay all year long. Nobody would sit there and tell you this was one of the most talented teams in the country at any point. But, yes, they have gotten hot at the right time. And in a tournament format sometimes, that's all you need. And now they're 2 wins away from winning a national title.
Who's going to win?
I got to take North Carolina. They're playing really well. They've got better pitching. Got to feel like they'll take care of business. But, I mean, my goodness, Oklahoma was really good. I mean, they beat Georgia. They beat Alabama badly. They look good. They beat Georgia twice. Georgia only lost one SEC series all year. They went 0-2 against this team.
Great text here. As an Ole Miss fan, Oklahoma is my most hated rival, as dictated by the SEC offense.
There you go.
The permanent rival.
If I'm an Oklahoma fan, I'm like, we're going to the College World Series, kids, because the last time we were in the final, we couldn't find a ticket.
Yeah, none of us were.
25,000 Ole Miss fans there.
The guy follows it up with, you don't have to be so hateful, Hail State. I'm here to tell you, if I'm hateful for saying that I don't want your team's competition to win at the highest level, then call me hateful.
Yeah.
I want Ole Miss and Mississippi State to play the easiest schedules and win every game and meet each other in the national championship. That is what's best for this here radio program. Mm-hmm. Hey, Dad and I will have differing opinions on who we want to win said championship. But what's best for the program is Oklahoma to not win, because it makes it more difficult for you.
I tend to agree.
You guys loved our conversation about the food scene. We're going to do that again. A totally different environment, but still a staple of this great state when we come back.
From the Venable Glass
Communication system is a go. Go!
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Exactly.
As always, Borkey, when I hear this song, I think it's time to get off of work. I don't know if you should be playing this at 3:20. I'm going to let you know. Sports Talk Mississippi. Brian Hadad, Michael Borkey here with you on a Thursday afternoon. Visit Jackson has been letting us know that they want to talk about great restaurants here in the city of Jackson, and maybe no better restaurant. I'll give them some credit. Walker's Drive-In in Jackson. And we talked yesterday, Borkey, about having a name that kind of fits your profession.
Yeah.
We talked about Chris Moneymaker and being a poker player. That was a good idea. What was the other one? I forget. But I think Joe Cravens is a great name for a guy who's going to own a restaurant. Joe Cravens, the chef owner of Walker's Drive-In in Jackson. Welcome to the show, Joe. And what I like the most about Walker's is this. If you just walked past it, and I said, let's go eat here, and you didn't know anything about it, you think we were probably going to go inside and have a burger, maybe a slice of pizza. It's very unassuming from the outside, but when you go inside, you're getting some of the best food in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's our everyday goal.
And, I mean, it's something that you guys have been doing for a long, long time there. So tell us, how long have you been in ownership of the restaurant now?
So we are on 11 months. July 11th will actually be 1 year for us. And we're loving every second of it.
For somebody that has not been under your leadership, when you take over something like that, a place that's been there for a while, what do you feel like you have to change? What has changed? What's different? What's new? What's old? What's the new experience like?
So the number one goal right out of the gate was to keep everything the same. Derek Emerson did an absolutely fantastic job really building, critiquing, and making the perfect menu for Walker's. So, the last 11 months we've kept everything the same, added a few things, but haven't taken anything off because the number one thing is we want somebody to come in who's always been coming, and their favorite dish isn't gone. That you wouldn't believe there's almost no waste in that restaurant. Everything sells. So most owners have to sit down and they go, let's look at our big sellers, what's making us money, this and that. At Walker's, we don't have to do that. Everything sells. But, we have added a few things. We've added a few seasonal salads here and there. We actually put chicken on the menu. We had brisket on there for a minute. And then from there, we've run a bunch of specials. So, every time you come in, there's a new chef-driven special that we kind of put it all into.
So before we get into more about your restaurant, I kind of want to ask about you specifically and your inspiration and where you started. So you're not from Mississippi, right? But nearby.
Yeah, Memphis, born and raised.
When did you know that this was going to be your thing?
When I was 14, I jumped in and I became a busboy at a local Italian joint in Memphis called Coletta's. And, I have a breakfast every Wednesday, and they kind of ask me these same questions. So I'm pretty prepared for them, which works out. But, when I was a busser, I figured out that there was like 4 bussers at the time, and I realized the easiest way to make the most money as a busser is, unfortunately, get rid of all the other bussers. So you had to work harder than them. And, once you're the best, then they realize they're like, okay, we just need Joe. And then you make the most because then you're not sharing tips and this, that, and the other. But then I kind of implemented that into like every day. And it was like, you've got to be a sponge. You've got to be willing to learn. You got to jump in there, get your hands dirty every second of every day. And I did a lot of that when I was in the learning process. I've done a little bit of everything. I've worked at the dive bar. I've made donuts at 1:30 in the morning. I've worked fine dining. I've worked farm to table. And now I'm back doing fine dining. And we just jumped across the street with David Farr and Jason Watkins, and we're doing a little bit of – actually, it's all new stuff for me. The kind of the only things, concepts I haven't done in my life. So that's definitely been a new thing. But we – a lot of – there for a second I had a mindset of like I'm trying to work for all of the best chefs in the United States. And – I worked for Vishwesh Bhatt, definitely one of the best. Worked for Steven Satterfield, definitely one of the best. And then I pretty much called it at Derek Emerson, which is definitely one of the best. So that was kind of my mindset for a long time.
This is going to be a goofy question. Forgive me for this, but I have watched a lot of chef-related shows. I loved Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. Burnt. I know you've seen Burnt, the Bradley Cooper movie. I got into The Bear on Hulu. How real is those kind of adaptations of the super high-end, like Michelin star caliber restaurants? What is real about the way they present that kind of stuff, and what is fake about the way that they present that kind of stuff?
I watched like 2 episodes of The Bear, and it's pretty similar. I mean, it almost gives me anxiety watching that movie because I'm like, or watching that show because, you're like, golly, I do this 80 hours a week. Now I'm sitting at home watching it on my couch. So, The Bear is pretty realistic, and that's just from the 2 episodes that I watched. They did a good job. They kind of hit on all the aspects that people see. Like, say, one girl goes outside and she's drinking out of a quart container. I've definitely done that in my life. But when it comes to, like, the Gordon Ramsay shows, it's not – I don't know. In a kitchen, you all fall in love with each other. You're spending 8 hours a day with each other. So you learn and you become best friends and, you're family by the end of it. A lot of those shows lack that. You don't really see that too much. And I think, that's where it becomes real. We all know each other like the back of our hands. We speak to each other all day, every day, and then it's like going into the national championship every day for whatever sport, and you trust each other that the other guy's going to get you through a shift. And so our trust level in a kitchen is like super high. And that's, of course, once you have that squad that is around you and, you know, you got the A-team. And we have that. The squad that's been at Walker's has been there since, you know, day one. We haven't had really any turnover at Walker's. But I
do want to go back to one quick question. When did you work at Coletta's? I used to live in Memphis for a couple of years.
Oh, gosh. That was okay, so what was that, 2000? I mean, it was forever ago. I guess that was...
I lived there like 04 to 06.
04 to 06. Okay, so yeah, I would have been there like 2008.
That's okay. I was wondering if we crossed paths there. I ate at Coletta's a couple of times, and you're right, that is a really, really good restaurant. What's something that you know, that's an Italian restaurant. Your restaurant now at Walker's, like you mentioned, kind of a fine dining, a lot of seafood, steaks. What's something that you took, though, from each of your jobs maybe, or just one thing in particular that you took from another chef and you're like, I had to bring this to my menu?
Well, you know, Coletta's is known. Their grandfather essentially created the barbecue pizza.
Yes.
And they're known for that. So now that I'm at the station across the street, I'm throwing that stuff in every day. So I'm like, you know, it starts with good barbecue. And we're getting pig and pint barbecue for the station, for the barbecue pizza. And then, you know, I'm making pizza dough right now every single day. When I was making donuts, you had to learn how it was stretching. It's much more than a recipe when it comes to dough. You're feeling the humidity in the air. There's the temperature, everything else. So when you're making donuts, you're doing a very similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff just starts to stick with you. And then with Walker's, it's like when I was at Miller Union in Atlanta, it was farm to table 100%. We didn't have distributors. We didn't have, you know, the Cisco U.S. Foods truck pulling up to the back door. That was never a thing. We used Amazon for a few paper products, but everything came from local farmers, and that was probably the most spectacular thing I ever saw because it was just constant, amazing product coming in the door. And now we did a lot of cool stuff with vegetables, and I implement that on a daily basis into Walker's.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's...
Hold that thought, actually. We got to go to a break. We have hard breaks here, so I hate to cut you off. I'm sorry. We just didn't want to talk into the break there. So we'll be right back. Sports Talk Mississippi on this Thursday, talking food and a icon in the capital city of the great state of Mississippi. We'll be back in just a bit.
From the Seabrook, Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
Yes! Sports Talk Mississippi, covering your Mississippi teams.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Don't touch that dial! Here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We continue on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Chef owner Joe Cravens with Walker's Drive-In in Jackson. Still with us here, and I want to ask you about something. Adding to your menu. How just real quick, how often do you do it? And I have a follow-up with that.
You know, we try to keep it seasonal. So you've got to also figure out the market, and you know, that's kind of been the biggest thing. You have people come in that are vegetarians, or, you know, they want something with chicken, or they want something. So we're always trying to bring something new to the table that, you know, pulls the people that haven't been coming to Walker's because they haven't had an option. We're trying to bring them an option. That's been.
So when you're, hey, we're going to add something to our menu this fall.
Yeah.
What is the start to finish process, the research and development? How do you go from nothing to this is the finished product and we're going to put this on our menu and serve this to our customers tonight?
We look at the availability. So you definitely don't want to put something in that's going to be there for a quarter that's only going to be around for another month. You also want it to make sense. You don't want somebody to walk in and, when I say make sense, like we had brisket and it was a braised brisket and we were serving it in December, so it was 32 degrees out and, it was real hearty ingredients. It was warming. There was a broth on the bottom, so then we topped it with a gremolata, celery gremolata, but it made sense for December, right? Now we're in a much, different temperature. We're in Mississippi. It's pushing, it feels like 98 degrees outside. So we went for an airline chicken breast, which is pretty typical in fine dining, but we try to take it to that next level where it's like, gosh, I've had chicken a million times in my life, but this is the best. And once you figured that out, you ride with it. Now, there's trial and error and you fix it as you go. But right now, the one that we've got it's stuck, it's doing good, and it makes sense.
And then you mentioned earlier that when you took over, you didn't want to change anything. I think if you did try to change one thing that would start a riot, it would be taking the redfish off the menu, the redfish Anna, maybe the most famous dish at Walker's. Why is that dish as popular as it is, aside from the fact that it's delicious?
It's just like I said, that dish just makes sense. Marco Pierre White said it perfectly. He's my favorite chef. But it's simplicity. And that is just the Gulf on a plate. So you've got a piece of redfish from the Gulf, you've got a jumbo lump crab from the Gulf, and you pair it with good mashed potatoes, haricots, and a little bit of charred tomato beurre blanc, and I mean it's just as simple as that. But I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't. It like has to be made at Walker's. I can't go on vacation and make that dish. There's something about that dish being made at Walker's that makes it so much better. I don't know what it is.
It's like the water for a New York bagel, right? It's something in the water is making it work that way.
Exactly. You can't remake it.
What is it about, we had Gino Lee on yesterday from the Big Apple Inn. That's a Jackson institution. Walker's is a Jackson institution. What is the responsibility that you feel to keep that kind of institution at the level it's always been at?
Well, Derek put his sweat and tears into that place. I mean, he was up there 24/7 for, a long time until he opened Local 463. So my goal has been to do the exact same. I'm in there every single day. We're trying to perfect it a little bit more each and every day, trying to stay relevant because, we did lose our parking lot. It is a double-edged sword because I wouldn't have Walker's right now if it wasn't for that parking lot being taken. So I love it, but I hate it. And so you have to make food so good that people are willing to drive and have no parking. And so far it hasn't been an issue. We're working on it. We're trying to get the city to sign off on valet for us. But it's just keeping the name going and making sure that everything stays quality. But you've got to be there. That's the biggest thing.
What's your biggest motivator? Because I'm a big golf guy. The U.S. Open going right now. Scotty Scheffler up for the career Grand Slam, and he was asked about it, and he said, I can't let something like that be my motivator because I won't be the best version of myself. I don't know if I believe him because it's the career Grand Slam. Give me a break. But are you motivated by the possibility of getting a certain award? Or I know Jackson's not big enough for a Michelin star, but to get recognized by Michelin in that publication, what is the thing that drives you? What is your personal, individual goal here?
Yeah. Well, first off, you said it's not big enough for a Michelin star. I think that you'll definitely see one in Mississippi. There's some really great things going on. But I 100% understand what you're saying there. my motivation, it's a number of things. It starts with the customers, right? Our customers are just like our employees. We have people that come in the same time, the same day, every single week. And when you see those people every single week, and then they start texting you, and then next thing you know, you're like family. And once you have that, but it's also like our employees get so excited by everything, and that's why everything has to be made with love, that you can taste love. And everybody in Walker's is so excited to be there. You can walk in the back and, Casey Hardegree has a customer that he hasn't seen for 4 years, and he's talking about it. There's no fake thing going on in that restaurant. They love, our servers love our customers. I love our customers. Our kitchen loves being there. It's just, that's kind of my motivation every single day, is being consumed by love. We all stick together and work our butts off to make that every single day.
So we had Gino on, as I said yesterday, and I asked him this. I think I'm going to ask this of everybody that comes on with us. A lot of great restaurants here in Jackson. Obviously, this is being brought to us by our friends at Visit Jackson. They want to highlight the great restaurants that are in the capital city. Where do you eat on a day off?
Oh, man, if Cazadores over in Madison was kind of my go-to for the longest time. I like to be able to sit at a table with my kids and just relax. It's funny, I was never really a fine dining guy, but I also was always working during the fine dining hours. So I don't eat out a whole lot. So if I do, I usually just go and get Mexican. It's really simple.
Do you cook for yourself? Because I find, I don't know if Hadad agrees with this, but we talk about sports for a living. When I'm not doing this, I don't want to do this, really.
I don't listen to other podcasts or radio shows because I feel like I get enough of it here.
I don't talk about anything else. Do you go home and cook for yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. I have steak night with the kids. I'll get some steaks and cook them, and I've got a 1 and 3-year-old, so I have to chop it up into oblivion. But all
that hard work.
Yeah, so absolutely, I do. I love cooking. That's why I do what I do. And I understand what y'all mean by the not wanting to do talk shows and all that. But when I get home and I'm in the mood for a steak, I'm probably not going to go out and buy one. Probably just going to grab one and cook it at the house, to be honest. So I do a lot of cooking at home.
So Walker's has been around for a long, long time. What do you think the next decade plus of Walker's is going to look like?
Well, Fondren's grown every single day. So it's really exciting to walk out the front door every day and see the progress of what's going on. I think that Walker's is going to just keep going and going and going. Those cinder block walls have been around for a very long time, 1946 to be exact. And I've said, if I screw this one up, I really, really screwed up because it's been around so long. But I think that if we just keep doing what we're doing, it's going to keep rocking and rolling.
Go ahead, Hadad.
I had one last question because I was looking at the menu online, and this will be the easiest question we ask. What's the fried pie of the day? Because I love a good fried pie.
So it was it take on an Elvis, so it was peanut butter, chocolate, and banana. Yeah. Once again, the world is full of enablers. I can't get away.
We're doing this in a studio. We should be doing this.
We should be doing this at the restaurant.
Yeah,
I know. Right?
With a plate right in front of us.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Well, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming by.
Hey,
congratulations on the relatively new gig.
For sure.
And just keep on keeping on. Everybody that recommends a place, hey, where do I need to go eat in Jackson? Your establishment is always on the list.
Very near the top. Always near the top.
Yeah. Really appreciate you, and we wish you continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be right back. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio. Stick with us.
Innocence slips away.
And the
I listen to it at work.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Did you get that memo?
Yes, sir.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Jackson, Mississippi, the city with soul, is inviting everyone, locals and visitors alike, to join us at Jackson's table and stay a while. Wherever you sit, you're in for something good. Go to visitjackson.com/JXN Stable. It's not really what it is, but that's what it is. For more info on what's cooking in the city with soul, they bring us these interviews. They'll be doing a couple every week. We'll have 2 more chefs joining us next week here on Sports Talk Mississippi, and coming with us all throughout the summer.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So
once again, I'm hungry.
Oklahoma on a bit of a heater right now. They're going to the National Championship Series in baseball, and they have
never walk away from a heater.
Never. Apparently, though, they're just on a massive heater. They have a amateur who is leading the U.S. Open.
Oh,
right now at 3 under. You have a group at 2 that includes Aaron Rai, Bryson, Wyndham Clark, Xander, Billy Horschel, all at 2, but it's early. Rory's done at 1, as is Ludwig Åberg. A-B-E-R-G, Hadad, Åberg.
Sure, why not?
Why not? Let's see. Scrolling down the leaderboard a little bit. Tommy Fleetwood in at even. Gary Woodland at even. But he's just now on the course. Jordan Spieth even through 2. Again, we'll see if that lasts. Rahm just got on the course. They had a 2-hour delay for fog this morning. Ricky Fowler in at 1 over. Sam Burns in at 1 over. You had a 2 over 72 from Scotty Scheffler. He had to kind of grind in the back 9 to come in at 2 over, as is Patrick Reed, handful of others. It was really windy out there today. I think the afternoon has made the scoring a little bit easier for those guys. Jackson Suber shot a 4 over 74. That is currently T106. I think that's going to age well. He will be in line going into day 2 to make the cut. I do think that 106 number scares you, but there's an afternoon wave still going right now, and I think that's going to age better than it currently looks. So that's a little bit of a look at the U.S. Open leaderboard. I know Hadad was locked in on it all day.
Could not tear myself away from it, really, to be honest with you. So, glad that my prediction was that the day one leader at one point would be an amateur.
Absolutely, yeah.
I said that,
and you nailed that.
I nailed it. And so, I will as the tournament goes along, and maybe on Monday, I'll go a little deeper into some of the predictions I made and did not reveal to you guys.
Yeah, of course. I knew it. I do hate I knew it, but I didn't say it guy. I hate that guy. Oh, I knew that Oklahoma was going to win that game. Oh, no, you didn't. Then you would have said it if you knew it.
You'd have put money on it.
I don't like that guy. I hate that guy. And you hear it in our business all the time. Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But you got a microphone in front of your face.
Just say it, yeah.
Just let people know that you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, we did get this text. We'll get to this after the news because there's possibly a big story coming out of Major League Baseball that is going to help college baseball. However, going into a labor dispute, I have a feeling Major League Baseball players are not going to put up with this. However, there's a proposal that will dramatically alter the draft, will eliminate high school players from getting drafted, but only from America. If you're from a different country, you can get drafted. Well, crazy. So we'll go through it all with you coming up after the news. And then our top 5 today, so we'll do that. And then our top 5 today is your top 5 most underrated. Hey, I'll do State. I'll do Ole Miss. Most underrated football players.
I'm supposed to do State? I had 5 underrated Ole Miss players.
Well, if you don't have mine at number 1, you're wrong.
My number 1 was Eli Manning.
Unfortunately, mine's going to be a little bit more modern because I didn't move to Mississippi until 2010. But
so, no Marvin Courtney on there?
No Marvin Courtney on there.
Gary Abide or anything like that?
No, mine's going to be more modern.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's going to be a top 5 today. Most underrated football players from State and from Ole Miss. And you can go a lot of different directions with most underrated. That is a very fluid category. So looking forward to some of your submissions there. But, yeah, Hayden. I kind of want to go cook something now.
Yeah, I'm hungry. So.
And then I want to go watch The Bear. Did you ever watch The Bear?
I never watched The Bear.
It got weird there for a little while, unfortunately. They kind of lost their fastball a little bit. It became too much of like them trying to create art instead of a TV show.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this was 45 minutes of just weird camera angles. What are we doing here?
Yeah, like once it went from being like a show about a place that makes Italian beef to a place that's like, we're going to turn this place into a fine dining. Like, what happened? I thought they made Italian beef. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. After the news, this Major League Baseball story. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Sports Talk Mississippi. Yeah! On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Back here on Sports Talk Mississippi, Brian Hadad and Michael Borkey with you here on a Thursday afternoon. Thursday means tomorrow's Friday, means the weekend is almost here, which means it's time to start talking about what we're going to do out there in the yard this weekend. And I just got one question. Are you working your property? Are you working your yard? Or is your yard working you? And if the answer is the latter, well, it might be time to make a quick trip to one of our friends over at Ag Up. Ag Up Equipment's making it easier than ever to own a John Deere compact tractor with 0% financing on 1 through 4 series models. If you're a first-time landowner or if you've been doing it a long time, but it's just time to trade up, Ag Up's team knows how to help you find the right machine for your property and, more importantly, for your budget. Stop by your local Ag Up Equipment location. There's 15 of those throughout the state, so there's one nearby. Or visit agup.com. Ag Up Equipment and John Deere, built for what's next. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? We got a top 5 to get to. We've got the college football fix. We've got a team on 100 teams in 100 days. But right now, we're going to talk a little Major League Baseball, but more importantly, what it means to college baseball.
Yeah, so Major League Baseball. Now, they are just roaring towards a labor dispute with their players, meaning that the collective bargaining agreement's almost up, and the owners, or some owners anyway, want a salary cap. The players do not going to be a mess. Well, Major League Baseball is proposing something else that might turn into a mess that the Players Association has already released a statement saying that this is bad for baseball. But here's what they're going to try to do anyway. Reading from Evan Drellich, I believe is how you say his last name, at The Athletic, Major League Baseball on Thursday proposed massive changes to the way baseball players become professionals, including hundreds of millions of dollars in reductions to the signing bonuses teams pay to amateurs annually and the elimination of high school draft picks. For the first time in this round of bargaining, the league has also proposed an international draft as an expected development after the sides made some progress on that concept in the negotiations 4 years ago. The Players Association balked right away. They call these proposals flat out bad for baseball and would, quote, cripple the next generation of players and damage the future of our game, end quote. But all the changes the league proposed in international draft may have the best chance to eventually become reality in some form. The league is proposing both the domestic and international drafts to be 12 rounds. Each draft would come with its own $200 million signing bonus pool and hard slots. So no more floating slot limits. When you get picked at this rate, this is what you get paid, period. The current domestic draft, as you guys know, lasts 20 rounds and does not have hard slots, which allows players to negotiate sums above or even below their slot limit. $402 million are what the domestic amateurs received last year. International amateurs, about $197 million. This year, again, they expect to spend about $600 million on the draft. On this proposal, each, as we said a second ago, each draft would be $200 million. So the domestic draft would get cut in half financially. The league wants domestic draftees, starting with 2028, so American players, to be at least 20 years old by September 1st of that year and will require them to be at least 2 years removed from high school graduation. Here's the problem. That would not be the case for the international draft. That would be 18 years old.
Right.
So the American players would have to wait until they're 2 full years removed from high school. The international players could go right out of high school. What does this mean for college baseball? I think, Hadad, it's obvious. More players would go the college route. They would have to because the high school would be eliminated, and then more college players would stay longer because there's not as much money and not as many rounds in the domestic Major League Baseball draft.
I like it, but I need one exception made. I need a Jacob Parker rule that he has to play 3 years at Mississippi State. Other than that, sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah, I mean, think about the talent that would have been at some of the schools, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, over the last decade, if high school kids could not go into the draft. I mean, Mississippi State would have had an unbelievable run. Think about that 2016 Mississippi State team that won the SEC championship and lost in Super Regionals. Now I'm going to put Austin Riley in there in that lineup because that's what he would have been. He would have been State starting third baseman in that situation. Roman Anthony committed to Ole Miss, right? He'd have been playing for the Rebels these past few years.
That is correct. Ole Miss legend Roman Anthony.
Yes, exactly. I mean, just so many guys. You know, especially if you're a program like State, Ole Miss, LSU is going to benefit from this. Arkansas, that you sign a lot of high risk kids that go to the draft, and now you're going to be getting those kids on the campus for a couple of years. How can you say no to that? It feels like a very big win for college baseball.
And then somebody says, or JUCO baseball will become even better. Another one, our high school seniors will go overseas to play their senior season.
Overseas to play baseball?
You know that some baseball dad would do that. That thinks little Johnny is better than the scouts are telling him that he is. And, oh, yeah. I don't think it'll be many. But hey, Dad, you are long removed from youth sports culture. It is horrendous right now. There are absolutely baseball dads that wear shirts that don't fit, that yell at umpires at 12-year-old games.
Or dads that don't fit.
That will absolutely send their son to a different country to play his senior year of high school so he can get drafted faster. That will 100% happen. No. This probably is not going to go through.
Why not? No.
The players are very against it. And in negotiations for a CBA, if one half of the decider is absolutely not, no way, then it's probably not going to happen. But, I mean, they were not out on the international draft component, which, how is that legal, by the way?
It's just like anything else in the world, man. You just make the rules and you hope nobody sues you over it. Chances are nobody will. I don't know.
I really would like to know why that's, or how that could possibly be legal. Somebody says, redshirt your kindergartner.
Yeah.
I've got a family member doing that. Not for sports, but you got the redshirt kindergarten. He was the youngest in his class. Now he's going to be the oldest in his class. And I was like, that's going to pay off when he gets his driver's license first. He's going to be the most popular guy in his friend group.
Yeah.
And then when he turns 21.
Yeah.
He's going to be the king. But anyway. Somebody says blame ranking players like perfect game. Oh, I mean, you've got U8 rankings on players now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What are we doing? Connor Griffin, another one.
Yeah, would have been at LSU. So I'm glad he's gone.
A lot more players would go JUCO, a Bryce Harper rule, but it's not about the college that you go to. It's you have to be 2 years removed from high school.
So why would you go to JUCO if you have an offer to play in the SEC?
Yeah, that would be taken away.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a thing at all.
There are fewer rounds and a lot less money. That would be the thing.
Yeah.
You and Chase going back and forth on the text line.
Yeah,
Chase is trying to claim that Ole Miss Georgia didn't matter in the regular season, and that Chase, you could not be more wrong.
But you said that too. You said that Kiffin never won an important game.
No.
I mentioned that one, and you said,
No, hey, Dad.
You said.
I said he has not won a championship of any kind.
And you said, and I quote,
Is that a championship?
It's not a championship.
It's a regular season game.
It is an important game.
And he is in the conversation was he's in the salary range of coaches that have won championships and playoff games, and he has done neither.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
You're intentionally being obtuse.
I love being obtuse.
You're doing it intentionally, though.
Well, that's fine.
He has not won a championship or a playoff game.
I don't think you can be unintentionally obtuse. I think being obtuse, it requires intention. So.
See, Chase, you're just wrong. It mattered in no way. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. You're completely and totally wrong about that. You're totally wrong about that. You may think it didn't matter, but people are still getting jacked up about the highlights of that game, despite it being Lane Kiffin, despite them having lost to Florida in the next game and missed the playoff that year. The highlights of that game are going to be shared amongst people forever.
Yeah.
Yes, that game mattered.
It mattered.
Not making the playoff doesn't change that game mattered. All right. You guys are going to hate my list because it's very, very, very modern. And so I need to lean on you older guys to better modify my list. But the top 5 most underrated players for Mississippi State football and Ole Miss football. We will do that when we come back.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Call up Trudy on the telephone. Send a letter in the mail. Till I'm hung up and down.
Welcome in, Sports Talk Mississippi. So glad that you guys are with us on a rainy Thursday. So there is it's not a tropical storm anymore. It's the remnants of one that are pushing through the state this weekend. A lot of flooding and all that stuff. SuperTalk News has got you covered there. Just check them out. They'll have updates and warnings and all that. I think literally the entire state, correct me if I'm wrong, hey, Dad, I do believe that the entire state of Mississippi is under some kind of flood warning.
Yeah, something like that.
All 82 counties of you out there. So be safe. Be safe. Luckily, it dissipated rather quickly, though. Our friends down in New Orleans getting hammered, or got hammered, power out, all that stuff. So, be safe out there. Luckily, though, not one of the stronger ones. All right. Top 5. I know what my list is going to be. I know. But we're going to get through it together. Top 5 most underrated players in Mississippi State and Ole Miss football history. Hey, Dad, your number 5 player from Mississippi State.
A guy who's, I think well known, but he was underrated, and I don't think he got the credit he deserved, was Buki Watson. I got him at number 5. I don't think people realize that his senior year he led the SEC in tackles and sacks and was somehow not the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. I'm sorry. Do you have to lead the league in tackles, sacks, interceptions, and fumble recoveries to get that award? He led the league in tackles and sacks in his 2 years. And this is one of the things I get excited about when I think about Zach Arnett, because I think State has some good young linebackers. He and Jet Johnson combined for, and I could be wrong about this number, a zillion tackles. I'm pretty sure it was close to a zillion. So Buki Watson, I don't think he gets enough credit as one of the all-time great Mississippi State linebackers. I think people don't put him at the maybe near the top of the list where he belongs.
I like it, though. I'm going linebacker also with my number 5. DeMarcus Gates is my number 5. He, unfortunately, played on the post-Hugh Freeze thing, so there was a lot of taken away. But he led the team in tackles 3 years in a row, led the SEC in tackles, was number 13 in the country his last year at Ole Miss. He had 114 tackles his last year at Ole Miss. He was a great linebacker and a highly productive linebacker. And when you talk about that position at Ole Miss, does anybody ever mention DeMarcus Gates? Ever? No. But he led the SEC and was 13th in the country in tackles, led his team in tackles 3 years in a row. Dude was a stud, and just because of the product of where he was, like in what was going on at the time, I guess is what I should say, he didn't get appreciated the way that he should have. So DeMarcus Gates is my number 5 most underrated Ole Miss football player.
All right. My number 4. Hold on a second here. Save that, yes. Yes, save that, please. Number 4, I love going back in time and finding guys that were just born too early, right? Mm-hmm. Born in a time where quarterbacks were required to be pocket passers and required to, get rid of the ball quickly, and they're not trying to run. The zone read wasn't a thing. Don Smith is my answer. Don Smith is a guy that had he been born in 1995, or if he had been born in the year 2005 and he was a quarterback now with the skill set and the athleticism he had, would be an absolute top-tier superstar. But because he played in a time where, especially the NFL didn't value mobility as much as a skill for a quarterback, they wanted guys who could just stand in the pocket and throw it down the field, he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. But he was an unbelievable athlete out of Hamilton, Mississippi. Played on bad Mississippi State teams, but they weren't bad because of him. He was really, really good. And a guy that probably doesn't get his just due. Because, again, had he been born, had he played in this era of college football, people, and I think USM fans would say the same about Reggie Collier, that he would have been a dominant force.
This is going to be kind of a goofy one. I just think a guy that played the position that he did at the size that he played it with is at least interesting and fun. He was a freshman All-American as well. Isaac Gross. You remember Isaac Gross? He had a neck injury that really harmed him late in his career. But he was a 250-pound nose tackle in the SEC. And he was a productive. They list him. I've got his bio up right now. They list him at 263. Buddy, no shot. He was 263 pounds. He was the smallest nose tackle in the SEC of all time. I swear he was. But, man, was he violent and physical and productive at that size. There was no reason for him to be as good as he was. And remember, he was a starter on the 2014 team that had one of arguably the best defense in college football that year as the aforementioned 250-pound nose tackle. So when you do that at that size, I think he deserves some recognition. Isaac Gross was a fun player.
Really good player for Ole Miss. Yeah, no question about that. Part of the long and proud tradition of the University of South Panola up there in Panola County. My number 3 guy, when you think about great Mississippi State running backs, and by the way, tomorrow's Thunder and Lightning podcast, we go to summer school again for Carlo Barone, and we started teaching about Mississippi State running back history. I don't know that Vic Ballard gets the due he deserves because he played only 2 years for Mississippi State. But his junior year rushed for 19 touchdowns, the all-time record for Mississippi State in a single season. Second year, he rushed for almost 1,200 yards. His pro career, he had a chance to be the Bulldog running back that had a great pro career, but got injured and it got away from him there. But played on a really good team his junior year when the state went 9 wins and beat Michigan in the Gator Bowl. 19 touchdowns is just a lot of touchdowns. He is, I think he's 4th all time in state's touchdowns for rushing touchdowns. The 3 guys ahead of him all played 4 years: Fitzgerald, Prescott, and Dixon. So Vic Ballard gets to be number 3 on my list. One of my all-time favorite Bulldogs.
Number 3 on my list, Jalen Walton. Number 3 on my list. You've got a lot of good running backs that have come through Ole Miss, and that's again, my list is very modern. But that's another guy that when you bring up Ole Miss running backs, I know this is sour, but Quinshawn's going to get talked about. Obviously, Deuce McAllister's going to get talked about. You've got guys like that. Keywan Lacey, when he's done, is going to be probably the first name that Ole Miss fans say moving forward. There's a long history of pretty good running backs at Ole Miss. Jalen Walton's not going to get brought up right away in that discussion, but he had the school record in kick return yards, was second in school history when he was done with 4,742 all-purpose yards, 6th in school history with 23 touchdowns, and 9th with 2,000 rushing yards. He was a highly productive player, small guy, also has an electric moment in an Egg Bowl. Great call from Vern Lundquist there. A guy that did all of that, I think, deserves some love, and he's not going to get the big-time love, and I understand why not. But Jalen Walton was awesome there for a while, and I think he's criminally underrated.
I try not to think about Jalen Walton. Cost me a lot of pain, personally. I could still see him coming around the end on that long run in the Egg Bowl where State had, 10 chances to tackle him in the backfield and decided they didn't want to do that. And next thing you know, it's a 91-yard touchdown run, and the Egg Bowl's out of reach. So I try to block Jalen Walton from my memory.
And just a classic, oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. So my number 2 guy, Mississippi State, long, proud tradition of defensive backs, put a lot of guys in the league. Jonathan Banks, the Thorpe Award winner. A guy who I never think gets his due is Robert Bean. His first year at Mississippi State, he was all SEC. He had 5 interceptions. The next year they didn't throw to him, and they threw to his partner across the way. His name was Fred Smoot. And everybody knows Smoot, and everybody loves Smoot. And nobody really remembers Robert Bean, but what an outstanding defensive back. And, of course, he had a huge role in one of the most famous plays in Mississippi State history where the kicked-up interception in the 1999 Egg Bowl, he's the one doing the kicking. His body control was so great that he was able to intentionally kick the ball up in the air for Eugene Clinton to pick off and set up Scott Westerfield's game-winning field goal. A guy who I just never thought got his due among the Fred Smoots and Emmanuel Forbes and Martin Emersons. I know I'm leaving some guys out. Banks and Slay. Bean doesn't get that recognition like he should, so he's my number 2 guy.
Do I have time? I think
you got time for number 2.
Jordan Ta'amu.
That's a good one.
He is mixed in a group of quarterbacks that won bigger games or are more loved. You have Matt Corral in there. You've got Dart. Now you've got Trinidad. Chad Kelly, despite being what he is, he's mixed in that as well. Great quarterbacks. Jordan Ta'amu was only at Ole Miss for essentially a year and a half, and so his career numbers aren't going to stand out. But in those last, 5 games in 2017, completed 67% of his passes, 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns. And then as a full year as a starter in 2018, 64% completions, 3,920 yards, 19 touchdowns, ran for another 350 and 6 touchdowns. His, he broke the single-season Ole Miss record for 400-yard passing games in a season, yards per attempt, second all-time in single-season passing yards, led the SEC in offense that year. That guy needs some love. We'll wrap up our top 5 when we come back.
From the Sebro.com.
Hey, guys. What's happening? What the heck are you doing?
Sports Talk Mississippi on your radio and in the game. Sports Talk Mississippi.
All right. we're through 4 on our top 5 most underrated players in Ole Miss and Mississippi State football. Hadad, your number 1 most underrated Bulldog of all time.
You never want to be the guy that follows the guy. You never want to, I think that's the lesson that Kalen DeBoer is learning as we speak. The guy at Mississippi State was Dak Prescott. Never be another one like him. Nick Fitzgerald was the guy who followed him. And I don't think Nick Fitzgerald has ever gotten the due that he deserves. He is the all-time leading rusher, SEC quarterbacks. He quarterbacked a 9-win season, quarterbacked a team where he was forced into an offensive system that did not play to his strengths. And had Dan Mullen stayed or had Joe Moorhead decided, hey, in year 1, maybe we got to do a little bit more with the run game and not try to force Fitzgerald to be such a pocket passer, I think that he would be a lot more fondly remembered because the State would have just won more games with that defense that they had. But at the same time, this is a guy that, quarterbacked 3 straight bowl games, although he didn't get to play in the junior year one because he was injured. Had some massive wins, won 2 Egg Bowls in Oxford where he completely dominated Ole Miss. Had a win over LSU, wins over Auburn, wins over Texas A&M, owned Texas A&M. Never lost to him as a starter.
That was an incredible run of dominance that Mississippi State had over Texas A&M.
When Casey Smith had her son, I was like, you should name him after his real daddy and call him Nicholas Fitzgerald Smith. Also had great success. He lost a game to Arkansas, but had great individual games against the Hogs up there as well. So I just don't think, people say who are the greatest Mississippi State quarterbacks of all time. I don't know that Fitzgerald gets mentioned. You could make a very strong case that he's number 2.
Who would be the other candidate for number 2?
Jackie Parker, John Bond, Madkin.
So a lot of candidates for number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's no clear-cut number 2. There is a clear-cut number 1. Like, Ole Miss has a debate for number 1, right? Archie, Eli, make a case for Chad Kelly, certainly make a case for Corral,
you make a case for Dart at this point.
And Chambliss, if he has another year, will be in that discussion. But for State, we know who number 1 is. It's who's the number 2 guy. Mm-hmm. Fitzgerald can make a really strong case to be number 2.
Love it. Good pick. Mine's a bit of a cop-out. And I say it's a bit of a cop-out because I think that you could argue that pound for pound, he's the best football player, pound for pound, the best football player to ever play at Ole Miss. In my limited history of understanding the program, I think Mike Hilton, he played still in the NFL. I mean, had a great NFL career, was an all-SEC guy. But when people do the Mount Rushmore thing and the greatest Rebels of all time, all that stuff, Mike Hilton doesn't get talked about early enough. He played every position in the secondary in the SEC and in the NFL at 5'8". If you look at him, his physical attributes have no business on the field in the SEC, let alone in the NFL. He never made mistakes on the field. He was the best tackler you've ever seen, especially at his size. He was always in the right position. He was always making the right play. That dude, I've watched a lot of football players in my life. One of, if not the best, pure just football player. Forget the physical attributes, forget all that. Just playing the game of football, you are hard-pressed to find guys that were better than him at just playing the game. Again, had no business on the field at his size, and yet he made an NFL career out of it. Just an elite football player that needs to get talked about in the S tier of former Ole Miss players, and he doesn't get put on that list enough.
Okay. I had another Ole Miss DB in mind.
Who?
Sinquez Golson.
He has the iconic interception, too.
He was a consensus All-American. Like, not just one team, not just, Billy Bob's college football preview All-American. Every All-American team had Sinquez Golson on it. That's a guy I think that, if I said list the greatest Ole Miss defensive players of all time, nobody's ever going to get to him. I don't know that he ever gets mentioned, but, man, he was a consensus All-American.
At the Combine, or pre-draft, so this is from Pro Day, he did not get invited to the Combine. 5'8", 178, a 40 of a 4.55. He had no business playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Those measurables are good luck in high school, buddy. Maybe Canada will pick you up.
Yeah.
But just never made mistakes, ever.
There's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for being a smart player.
And that was him.
Knowing where the ball's going to go. Yeah, I agree.
All right, to the text line. A lot of good ones here. For State, you have one. So I'll go 5-1. Bumpus 5. Jamion Lewis 4. Richie Brown 3. Chris Relf 2. Pegues 1.
That's a very recent list. Pegues isn't underrated at all. I mean, everybody knows who Derek Pegues is. People would tell you he's one of State's better defensive backs. Has a great moment. Relf, great in the Egg Bowl, but everything else, just okay. Jamion Lewis didn't really do enough. Bumpus, maybe you could say, because he did hold a lot of records at a time where Mississippi State receiving records were, not great. He made them at least respectable.
Titus Brown, vote for him.
Good player. You can make a case for him.
John says, for State, Errol Thompson. Agree with Don Smith. Great quarterback. And yes, in the modern day, he'd be a great player for Ole Miss. Dexter McCluster.
Is McCluster underrated?
He's got legend status.
Yeah.
Especially that Tennessee game. Shout out Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Ironically enough.
That's true, yeah.
Logan Cook at Mississippi State. What a weapon for field position.
I like Logan and all, but I'm not putting a punter on my list.
Jalen also caught the winning touchdown from Bo Wallace against Alabama. That's right. That was him. Wheel route out of the backfield. That was him. Marshawn Green, Ole Miss's most underrated player. Also a few more. Matter of fact, the top 3 underrated players in Ole Miss history all have the same Green in common. Willie Green, Marshawn Green, and Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Yeah. The law firm.
Hey, Dad, you were right on the money with Bean. Pick 6 in the SEC championship game. Multiple blocked kicks as well.
Really good college football player.
So he says Cody Pruitt has to make the list. Cody Pruitt, good player, but I don't...
Had a great senior season, but didn't have the great career at Ole Miss.
This is going to sound disrespectful. I don't mean... He was just fine. He was just on. He was
his senior year. He was really, really good.
He had some big hits.
Yeah,
and he was on a really, really, really good defense.
Well, the SEC interceptions, didn't he?
But I don't think he is on the same plane as a Hilton, for example. That's why I went with Hilton. Again, good, but I think he's appropriately respected.
Led the league in picks his junior year at Ole Miss.
I think he's appropriately respected, though.
Okay, that's the thing. It's like. A lot of these guys are properly rated. That's the thing we're missing here. It's not that they aren't great players; they're just properly rated.
Oh, this is a pretty darn good list right here. He's got Randall Mackey on it. Which
I can't go with Mackey. I can't get behind that.
But Jalen Jones, it's a really good one. Yeah. Ken Webster, gosh, he got hurt in that Florida State game and
never the same.
Never the same.
That defense was never the same that year.
Vince Sanders is a great one. He was steady and solid, and you've got a receiver room that has, Treadwell and Brown, etc. That Vince Sanders gets buried, and then Jeremiah Masoli.
Only 1 year, but he was far and away the best player on that team. It's not even like we're talking about who's the debate of the second best State quarterback. Who's the second best Ole Miss player on the 2010 team? I don't know. I don't know who it is. I know who the best guy was, though.
That team should have gone 0-12.
If he hadn't had him, they might have been that way.
He should have. He played well enough, to beat LSU, and then they lost to Arkansas when he played really well also.
Yeah.
Amen, Hadad on Fitzgerald. What about Rocky Felker?
Underrated? No, that guy's a legend.
Fitz would be even more remembered if Osiris Mitchell caught the ball.
Correct, but he did not, so he is not as well remembered. Yes, the best pass Fitzgerald threw in 4 years at Mississippi State gets dropped against Florida. That was a tough one.
Pound for pound, I thought Borkey was going McCluster. Yeah, I guess that tease probably led you into that for sure. But then somebody says Mike Hilton is the correct answer. Hilton was also undrafted. He proved them all wrong, still going. Yeah, absolutely. At every single level of his football career, he has been told, you don't have it. And he just keeps having it. Jim Miller, punter. Jalen Walton, running back. Bill Smith, punter.
I just can't put a punter on this list. Bill Smith was an awesome punter, though.
It's before my time. Is it Stevan Moore?
Stevan Moore, yeah.
Defensive back, Ken Austin, quarterback, also from the greatest college defense I've ever seen. Johnny Dixon, defensive back. That's from Walt. What about Eric Moulds, somebody says?
Eric Moulds was a first-round pick and an all-SEC player. How could he be underrated?
Yeah, we're talking about underrated.
Yeah. This isn't greatest players. This is underrated players. He's not underrated at all.
We'll read some more of your text on this when we come back.
And the Venable. Let's go. To the junction, in the grove, and to the top.
Don't hurt yourself.
Sports Talk Mississippi. On Super Talk Mississippi.
Well, you know something, brother. When Hollywood Borkey and the Macho Man Brian Hadad are here. Although I'm doing Hogan's voice and saying it does not working, but it's Sports Talk Mississippi, brother.
Vote for Jamarcus Sanford.
Good player. Really good player.
One for Dante Moncrief. I think
in no world is he underrated.
No,
there was a song about him.
He's going to get buried soon, though, unfortunately.
He is, but it's still not underrated, though.
Matt Greer.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lodge, that's another good one, overshadowed by DK and AJ.
Yeah.
Sam Williams, good one.
I don't think he's underrated either. I think he's properly rated.
Arias Williams?
Underrated, for sure.
Ladarius Perkins should have been thrown to out of the backfield more. Great hands.
They didn't do a good job of using him. I would agree with that.
Somebody says, great list, Borky. Thank you. I appreciate you. Harvey Hull.
Did your mom send that in? Harvey Hull's a little before my time. So
Tony Connor. Yeah, that injury, just not the same after.
Never the same.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Romero Miller, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Michael Spurlock, Brandon Bolden, Bobby Massey. Massey's a good one there.
Long career in the NFL.
Kentrell Lockett, another good one. Fred Brown, Cam Dantzler, A.J. Jefferson, Mark McLaurin, Richie Brown.
McLaurin led the SEC in receiving. He picked off Lamar Jackson 3 times in one game. That's a good story to tell your kids. Yeah, I picked off the Heisman Trophy winner 3 times.
Randy Baldwin, Ole Miss.
Oh, what a great player! That's a good call.
What about Cody Core? That now we're talking underrated.
Who's the guy that likes Cody? Is it Colin Brister?
I thought it was Bunky.
No, there's another guy who's like a big Cody Core guy. I remember seeing it on Twitter all the time.
Brandon Bolden was the best player on the 2010 team, not named Masoli.
Bolden might be the answer. Yeah.
Bolden spent a long time with the Patriots. Had some Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
Always loved Gabe Miles and Donald Gray. Sir Darius Bryant. Dang it, that's one that I forgot. You're exactly right. Bird Bryant. Dang it. That's a good one. I hate myself that I did not include that on there. Finn Sanders was a great guy off the field. My son had brain surgery several years ago, and he came by our house, gave him a jersey, and still talks with him to this day.
That's nice. That's awesome.
Great story there. Braxton Hoyette for Mississippi State was underrated. He also gets a nod for saving Matt Corral's life.
He did save Matt Corral's life. Let's be clear about that.
Oh, man. Let's see. Malik Deer was underrated, but because he wasn't used like he should have been.
Should have been a running back.
Vote for Eddie Strong. Matthew Wells was awesome for a year.
Matt Wells, yeah, fantastic football player. Sure.
Nico Whitley.
I don't think he's underrated. I think people give him the correct amount of due with him.
Another good one. DeMaurier Stringfellow was elite, always overlooked. Another vote for DeMaurier Stringfellow.
Good player. Really good player.
Gary Green, always overshadowed by Simmons and Sweat, but he was incredible.
Really good player. He's still at State now. He's one of the support staff.
Let's see. Dawson Knox, that's a good one, although they didn't use him.
Yeah.
That guy's a head coach now, by the way.
Dawson Knox?
No. The guy that could not find a way to get Dawson Knox a touchdown while in college.
Yeah.
The Bills are finding ways to get him in the end zone all the time, but you couldn't figure that out in college? Yeah, let's make him my head coach.
Offense wasn't that team's problem.
That guy, Longo used to send DMs to media guys, like kind of like Hugh Freeze, but it would be more just like the guys that were critical of the offense, he would send them graphics of top 10 offense and this, and it's like, Coach, we see your SEC games. You're not fooling us, okay?
Again, though, offense not that team's problem.
Certainly not.
Yeah. They were good enough.
Tevez Calhoun and Dylan Day.
Ooh, this list is long, man.
There are so many. John Bond, certainly not underrated.
Bond is not underrated, no.
I mean, he played how long ago? He's still a legend.
Yeah, people still talk about him. Yeah.
When he shows up, they're like, oh my gosh, it's John Bond.
Yeah.
He's probably listening right now. He's earned that, by the way.
If he is, that's fine with me. He might shoot me a text.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What?
Somebody says, Micah Davis, best running back on the 2024 Ole Miss football team.
Oh, my goodness. That's tough. He had his opportunity.
Yeah. Must have had a really good week at practice, you know?
Yeah.
Man. Memories. It's mostly good today. And there's one bad.
Yeah.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Pearl River Resort Studio, your college football fix after the news.
Sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sounds good.
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
That's rage as long as the machine allows you to. Sports Talk Mississippi. I'm Borkey. He's Hadad. They've changed their defiant ways, Ada. Let's just put it that way.
Rage Against the Machine has changed their defiant ways?
Yes, they most certainly have. They're not raging against the machine anymore.
Are they not?
No, they are not.
Well, that's all me.
But we are so glad that you guys are with us. This is my last day of the week. Hadad will be with you tomorrow alongside Will East. We just appreciate you being here. However, wherever you are, just really thankful that you are a part of our show every single day. But right now, if you are a part of our show every day, you know that just after 5 o'clock, it means one thing.
The college football fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford. Tough. That's the best-selling truck in America, the Ford F-150. If you're in the market right now, if you're thinking about a new truck, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, don't waste anything. Just head to your Mississippi Ford dealers today. Thank you for your attention to This Matter.
Somebody's suggesting we do a biggest bust list, and I don't know if I want to be that mean.
I mean, it wouldn't take me 5 minutes to put it together. I promise you that.
Shea Patterson, number one.
For you, yeah.
Yeah.
See, the problem with me is the guy I want to put at number one is dead, so I would feel bad about it. I would feel bad. Yeah. In fact, honestly, the top two might be dead.
Oh, no.
Now that I think about it. So, no, we're out. We're out on that.
Maybe we avoid that.
Yeah.
We'll do this quickly because we have 100 teams to get to and stuff, but your latest update in the whole trying to save college sports thing, There was a provision in this Save College Sports bill, as written by conservative, allegedly, Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell, backed by the Texas Tech billionaire, because that's the guy we want saving us. There was a provision that specifically targeted the Big Ten and the SEC that essentially said leagues earning $1 billion across the board are not allowed to expand anymore. Your membership is your membership. You cannot add. You cannot join another. That is what you have. Which, again, I ask, is that constitutional? It doesn't sound constitutional. But that was a provision in the bill. The SEC and the Big Ten obviously very much against that, as were a lot of people in Congress, because, wait, what are you doing? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why should the government be involved in that? They altered the provision a bit. They have reduced that $1 billion number down to $700 million. The ACC and the Big 12 will now fit into that window. It will prohibit any outside entity from poaching member schools if the media rights of those consolidated schools exceed the 700 million mark. So if call it private equity, call it the college football playoff, anybody besides the conferences wanted to form a conference, couldn't take anybody from the SEC or the Big Ten with you. That, as you can imagine, has been met with some opposition. You have the SEC and the Big Ten releasing a statement together on this. And again, I would like to remind Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti, you asked for this.
Yeah.
But their statement was, from the outset, we identified a set of essential revisions to the Saving College Sports Act necessary for the long-term sustainability of college athletics. We've worked, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, here's the money quote. Despite our sustained engagement and good faith efforts, these critical revisions have not been accepted. What the SEC and the Big Ten don't want is the inability to possibly merge, govern themselves, add teams if they want to. And an interesting dynamic in that is if you are a senator from the state of North Carolina, for example, do you want to block North Carolina from joining the SEC? Because that's what signing this bill would do.
Right.
If you're a senator from South Carolina, do you want to block Clemson from joining the SEC or Florida State from joining the SEC or the Big Ten? Probably not. Maria Cantwell, one of the authors of the bill, said, quote, on the Big Ten SEC opposition, "What we did today is say we are not going to let the most powerful and richest conferences dictate to the rest of America what's going to happen to 500,000 athletes." So, therefore, the richest and most powerful people in the country are going to dictate to the 500,000?
That's exactly what's going to happen, yeah. You called it.
So, obviously now you've got significant opposition to this from the SEC and the Big Ten. What is interesting, though, the framing of that, this is a really good point pointed out by Scott Schneider. Villainizing the Big Ten and the SEC is a little interesting. Because if you're trying to give the athletes the best, isn't that the two places where they get the best? They get the most money. Mm-hmm. They get the best facilities.
Yeah.
They get the most fan support and alumni willingness to support them post-graduation. Mm-hmm. They get the best health care. They get the best training. They get the best everything. So why are they the bad guys here?
Right.
Sorry they're successful? Why is it the SEC's responsibility to prop up the Mountain West or the Pac-12? Part of this, one of the senators involved is went after the Big Ten in a conference today for leaving Washington State behind. That it's the Big Ten's fault that Washington State didn't have a conference anymore.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it kind of is. But I don't know if if this is the kind of politics they want to push if they want to get this thing across the finish line. But I don't know anything, but.
So this bill at this point has gone further than any other bill, I believe, prior to it.
Yes.
What's going to happen next? Do you think this has a chance to get through?
Ted Cruz seems to think so.
Well, I'm not going to say anything.
I'm really skeptical of the passage of a Save College Sports bill when the two biggest powers in college sports is opposed to it. Mm-hmm. You can't pass something without them being on board.
Their lobbyist will prevent this from being a thing.
I tend to agree.
Yeah.
One of the no votes out of committee today was a senator from Mississippi, by the way.
Yeah, Roger Wicker voted against this. Yeah, saw that.
I have a feeling it's going to be communicated to the other senators from SEC. And that's a lot of states, by the way. Mm-hmm. The SEC and the Big Ten is in a lot of states.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be communicated to them. Unless you guys can't. And what this bill does, Hadad, it forces the ACC to have Stanford in it forever.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody wants that.
That's what that forces.
Right.
Cal in the ACC forever. Shouldn't we be allowed to fix that?
You would think.
So that's your update. I'm exhausted by it. I mean, Cody Campbell did a media thing today sitting alongside one of the politicians, and I keep asking the question, why is this the guy that we are trusting to do this? It frustrates me to no end, but that's your update. Greg Sankey is getting exactly what he asked for. It's like going to a pizza place, ordering pizza, and getting mad that it wasn't a sandwich.
You know, technically, if you fold it over, it becomes a kind of sandwich. Or as the Italians say, calzone. Something like that.
Somebody says, I'm assuming most people don't want a super conference for the SEC and the Big Ten. I don't. I hear you. I kind of do. And here's why. Because I think what's ultimately going to lead to structure and rules is a breakaway. And the quote-unquote super conference is the only way to get what ultimately I think is what's best for college sports. So that's why. I mean, ideally, the conferences would have remained the same, and there would have been 12 teams in each, and they would have all been geographical. And we don't live in that reality. That would have been best.
Right.
So now that we've completely destroyed the concept of conferences, then we might as well just go all the way and stop pretending like the Mountain West is competing for the same championship as the SEC. I don't like it.
I mean, I don't either.
But that is the position that we currently find ourselves in. So if here's where you are, then do what you can to fix where you are as opposed to reminiscing about the days of old, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somebody says a crap sandwich. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. But again, this is what they ordered. They got the crap sandwich that they ordered. It was right there on the menu. Had a nice description underneath it.
Yeah.
Ordered it anyway. It's technically your college football fix driven by Ford. We'll get to the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days when we come back.
His hair was perfect.
And the Venom.
Take the friggin' wax out of your ears. Did you hear me?
This is Sports Talk. Sports Talk. Mississippi.
Woo! I say, sports fans.
Now, here's more on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Borkey and Hadad. We can just wash the stink off of Congress's involvement in college football right now.
You could have stopped at the word involvement. Don't wash the stink off of Congress's involvement in literally anything.
We are going to get to the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days.
This day is Bananas
100 teams in 100 days.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! It's the final countdown!
Team number 72 on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. Yes, that means tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Monday, we will be in the 60s on the countdown. But team number 72, we go to the newest member of the FBS, the Bison of North Dakota State. Their first appearance on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days as well. The Bison, a storied program from the FCS level. They were just winning and winning and winning to the point where their fans got so bored with winning, their players had to beg them, please show up to the first round playoff games. Their fans stopped showing up to the playoff games because they had that, well, we're winning anyway, so who cares? Fargo Dome, one of the coolest venues. It's a intimate venue. And only 18,700 seats, but man, does it get loud in there. They are tightly packed. It is right on top of the field. The tailgating scene around the Fargo Dome is actually really cool as well. I mean, it's just a parking lot, NFL style, but they get super creative with how cold it gets up there. You've got ice fishing tents and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
In the parking lot at the Fargo Dome there in Fargo, North Dakota. Tim Polasek enters year 3 as head coach at North Dakota State. He went 14-2 in year 1, and they won the national championship. Last year, they went 12-1, 8-0 in the conference, but had a shocking first-round loss. I guess technically second round. They got a bye, but we'll get to that in a second. They opened with a win at the Citadel. They beat Tennessee State on the road as well, and SEMO before an off week. They beat South Dakota. They beat Illinois State on the road by a few scores. Hold that thought. They beat Southern Illinois, beat Indiana State badly. They beat South Dakota State on the road in the rivalry game, Hadad, known as the Dakota Marker. The Dakota Marker is what they won. Okay. They beat Youngstown State. They beat North Dakota, the Fighting Hawks. They used to be the Fighting Sioux, I believe, correct? But now they're the Fighting Hawks?
I believe that's correct, yes.
Beat Northern Iowa and beat the St. Thomas, name that mascot.
The Aquinas.
The Tommies of St. Thomas. The St. Thomas Tommies.
It makes sense.
They went 12-0, undefeated, poised to make another run at a national championship. That is until Illinois State makes a return trip to Fargo, and they upset the Bison 29-28, the final score. That was a huge upset at the time. Mm-hmm. And that ended the Bison season last year. This year, they make the jump to the Mountain West. That is the conference they'll be in. They open, though, with a home game against Jacksonville State. That is obviously a non-conference game. They will host Fordham before going to Air Force. And then Sacramento State, who is also now joining the FBS. They will have an off week, host Wyoming, go to Dan Mullen's UNLV Rebels. They'll host Nevada. Oh, yeah. They'll go to New Mexico, host UTEP. They'll have an off week. They'll go to Hawaii before ending the season hosting Northern Illinois and going to San Jose State. Schedule a lot more interesting for the people up there at North Dakota. I do wonder, though, are they going to regret that move? Because they will never play for a national. They will never play for a national championship again.
Probably not. No.
They could make the playoff. But playing in the national championship game for that program, never again.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'll regret that here in a few years.
They might. They might. Once again, I'm going to have to kind of rely on my own instincts here, Michael Borkey. The first place was like this generic Italian kind of. It was the highest rated, but I was like, this restaurant exists in like 50 towns, right? It's not that big a deal. I like the name, and now that I'm looking at the menu, yeah, I like the place. The Wurst Beer Hall.
Yes.
We're going to a German-style restaurant and beer hall. First off, the beer list, which is spelled B-I-E-R. That's so you know it's good. What's going on here? There. Turn the page. We got a lot of choices. A lot of choices. They got 6 different kinds of German beer. Never mind the rest of the beers, right? And they got some good looking stuff here. I would be a fan. Their food menu, though, it is very German in every way. For example, you can get a Bavarian pretzel, or you can get the giant Bavarian pretzel.
Yes.
That serves 3 to 4. It's only $3 more to get the giant pretzel, which comes to your choice of beer cheese dip or marshmallow fluff. That's a fascinating combination. Pretzel and marshmallow.
I don't think I'd like that. I would have to try it.
Salty, sweet kind of thing?
I know, but still.
Or you can get some of the other options they have there. They have a bacon flight. That's right. For $8.50, you get 3 kinds of bacon, and for another $8, they'll do beer pairings with it. Bacon and beer? Sign me up.
See, now you're cooking.
Create your own sausage platter. For $54, you get a giant pretzel with 4 sausages, all the classic toppings, beer cheese, spätzle dumplings, and mac and cheese. And they have some interesting exotic sausages you can add for $3 per. For example, pheasant and rattlesnake sausage with jalapeno. Elk with jalapeno and cheddar. I would absolutely try that. Duck and cilantro. Or a rabbit and rattlesnake. You ever had snake?
I have been to a restaurant that served it. I did not have it myself.
I went to a festival. They were doing snake on a stick. Not like the whole snake. They cubed it up. It didn't look like a snake. But guess what? Tastes like chicken.
Yeah?
But yeah, it's good. But I mean, they have 14 different kinds of sausage on the menus here. And you can get them classic with grilled sweet peppers, hot peppers, onions, and kraut, or banh mi style. So they'll do it like a banh mi. That's fantastic. This place looks awesome.
It sounds awesome.
Where are the desserts? I want to see the desserts. They have Kuchen. I don't know what that is, but it's a traditional German dessert.
What'd you call me?
Kuchen. I got to know what that is before we move on. It's a German word for cake. It refers to a yeast or pastry crust, a fruit filling like peaches, apples, or berries, and a creamy custard top. Yeah, I'd eat that. That looks fantastic. So,
nice.
When you want the best, go to Wurst. Wurst Beer Hall, Fargo, North Dakota. They have 2 locations. And when you go, make sure you tell them that Borkey and Hadad sent you. We would tear this place up.
Yeah, we would. Do
you like pickles? Are you a big pickle guy?
I do, yeah.
They have dill pickle cheese curds. Dill pickle seasoned cheese curds.
Oh, so yeah. I love
fried cheese with the pickle seasoning on there. You'd be all over that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I would eat the regular cheese curds.
Historically, the Germans haven't gotten a whole lot right.
Yeah.
Food and beer.
Have you ever been to a German restaurant, like a brew house?
Now, this isn't the same, but it's a very similar style. The best restaurant, I think, in my hometown is Belgian. And so it's very similar.
Let me tell you something about that. The Belgians, they know how to brew beer.
Oh, my gosh, man.
The Belgians know beer. I don't know what it is about German beer gets a lot of credit. And look, German beer is very good. Belgian beer is maybe the best beer there is.
Hey, Dad,
I don't know what it is.
This place, if the opportunity ever presents itself for us to go there, it's down in a basement. It's called the Trap Door. Their beer menus, though, it's overwhelming because they ship them in from microbreweries in the country of Belgium. They have 200 beer to choose from. 200. And some of them are like $30 a bottle because it comes from a small little microbrewery in this tiny little town in Belgium. It's so overwhelming, though.
My favorite beer is Belgian. The number one, like if I go to a bar and this is on the menu, I will order it. Beer is a Belgian beer.
What is it?
Hoegaarden.
Never. What'd you call me?
Yeah, I know, right? There's nothing quite like going to the bar with confidence and ordering a Hoegaarden.
I got to try it.
No, it's so light and crisp, a little citrusy. It's unbelievably good. If you go to a restaurant and you see Hoegaarden on the menu, order it. I promise you will not be disappointed.
Remind me in Tampa. We'll try to find it. Because I think that's the next time. Yeah, because obviously around the Palmer home, we won't get to have a dinner like that where we go have a beer as well.
No. Yeah. When we're in Tampa, we'll try
I think that's the next time we'll get to do something like that.
We'll find some Hoegaarden, and we'll drink it. We'll drink many of them. I'll drink a bar out of them.
Oh, man. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Sports Talk Mississippi. Pearl River Resort
I am
Studio.
super hungry now. Between this restaurant and this, between Walker's Drive-In and this, I am starving.
What a day.
I feel bad for the Mexican restaurant I'm going to hit when we leave here. I'm going to destroy them.
We'll be right back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the Seabrook Sports Talk Mississippi.
Are you ready?
On the SuperTalk app, supertalk.fm, and always on your local SuperTalk Mississippi station.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad with you. All this beer talk made me think about tailgating. Isn't that banned outside of the stadiums at the World Cup?
Yeah, I believe it is, which is ridiculous.
And most of the stadiums, you're okay. You're within walking distance or something, but not SoFi, not MetLife, although you can't call them by their sponsor names. By the way, great branding happening. So Levi Stadium, also a site of the World Cup.
Yeah.
FIFA makes the stadium cover up all references to the sponsor of the stadium.
I'll go a step further. I don't know if you saw this or not. There was a picture of like a condiment table in a one of the premium areas. Mm-hmm. So, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, hot sauces, barbecue sauce. Every label blacked out.
It's even worse. Gillette.
Every label. Like, you're in the premium area, you're going to put a little Cholula on your taco, and it's blacked out. Yep. They can't say you can't have that in there.
At Gillette Stadium, every seat next to the number has the Gillette Stadium logo on it.
Not there, though. They got it blacked out.
They taped all, 65,000 seats. Somebody had to walk up and tape over.
I'll tell you, I don't know
logo.
if I respect the hustle or not, but man, that's really something. That's how, think about, like, we always talk about, like, the NCAA. When you go if you've ever covered it, I know not everybody listening has, but if you've ever covered an NCAA tournament basketball game, right? If you're going to go sit down in your seat on the floor, I don't know how they would do it at State now that the seats are way up in the rafters.
They would still do it, though.
But they probably would. But, like, back when State had media seating on the floor, if you wanted to take a drink on the floor, you had to take it in an NCAA tournament cup. You could not take a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke.
Or I guess it would be Pepsi, right? Because Coke's the partner and Pepsi's the competition, or is it reversed?
It's wherever you're located.
Yeah.
It's like, they host, the teams host, right? So they would have these at the hump. And, you'd go to the media cooler to get yourself a drink, but you had to pour. It's like being in the Grove. You got to put it in a cup.
Yeah.
So I always thought, it's like, who gives a darn? But they did.
They do. But Levi Stadium, so they've had to cover up the Levi's logo and stuff. And the brand Levi's is making a killing right now because they have changed all of their social media branding to the picture of their logo covered up in a white sheet and stuff like that. Like, they've fully embraced. They're pretending like they are also not allowed to reference their own name. It's great social media marketing 101.
Good stuff.
People would prefer it to just be called by the name. You know what I mean? Like, this is weird. Nobody likes this. It doesn't benefit anybody.
Yeah, like the whole San Francisco, or what are they calling it?
So it's
Bay Area Stadium?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
No, nobody wants that. We will be playing at Seattle Stadium tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just so silly.
Although I don't know the name off the top of my head of the sponsor.
It's not Quest Field anymore, is it?
It's not. It's something else. Or is it Quest Field?
Well, it's Lumen Field.
Lumen Field.
Yeah.
Isn't Lumen the name of the...
You know what's funny is you Google Seahawks Stadium right this second, it comes up Seattle Stadium.
Does it really?
They got Google. They got them.
FIFA's so corrupt, man.
Lumen Field, currently known as Seattle Stadium for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. That is so ridiculous. Some of the stuff coming out from FIFA about, like, the meeting they had with Los Angeles, where they were like, you're going to have to pay for this and this and this and this. And the LA people were like, well, what do we get out of it? They're like, well, it puts your city on the map. Like, it's Los Angeles.
We are firmly on the map.
Like, they're one of the most famous cities in the world. Chicago's mayor was just like, nah. Like, this is not worth, the juice is not worth the squeeze. And, I mean, he's probably right, because think about it, Chicago, how many more people would there be in Chicago? People are coming to Chicago all the time. It wouldn't have been that many more people.
I mean, there would be more, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, atmosphere tomorrow in Seattle is going to be absolutely nuts.
Great, yeah.
I mean, there is. This is going to shock some of you guys. The Seattle United States fans are really intense, actually. They have a very big and devout following in Seattle, and I know there's all the political stuff that goes on there, but that will not be an issue tomorrow. The Americans are going to be very well supported. Now, you're going to see a lot of Aussie yellow there. It's a closer trip for them across the pond, but
about as good as they can hope for, yeah.
Yeah, but I can't wait for this one. I hated them so good. You
made the right choice. You made the right choice.
Yeah, we're going to a watch party, going to eat pizza.
That's always good.
Hopefully that'll keep the 6-year-old entertained. And I mean, he loves this stuff, though. He's super into the World Cup. He carries around the mascot, Clutch. It's a bald eagle.
Yeah,
carries him around lately. So we're in. You gonna watch the College World Series?
Probably not. Probably just whatever happens. Far more into the World Cup at this point.
Me as well. We got asked that yesterday. Are you guys still going to lock into the College World Series? And honestly, no. I'm not. You got the U.S. Open this weekend. Between that and the World Cup, man, my sports bandwidth is pretty full, and I'm not like this as much with the basketball tournament, and I'm certainly not like it with football. But when our teams in Mississippi get eliminated in baseball, I'm out.
It's easy. It's easy to check out. Yeah, agreed. So that's fine.
State going to get back to Omaha next year?
If they don't, there's going to be some issues, I think. Yeah, I would expect them to. The way the transfer portal is, the way it's going right now, they've insulated Parker. They've given him some protection with the guys they brought in. They just got to get a few more pieces in that bullpen. And I think they're going to be they will be a preseason top 5 team again for sure, with bringing back what they bring back. As I've mentioned before, like, the SEC preseason player of the year and pitcher of the year might both be from Mississippi State right now. Parker and Valinkas Parker will certainly be the SEC player of the year preseason. And Valinkas will be, I can't imagine he's much more than the second or third choice for the pitcher of the year.
So you kind of said it is year 2, because you said you were consistent the whole time. Mm-hmm. Year 1 is not Omaha or bust. You can't do that in year 1. I know the roster's talented, but if they get to the Super, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Is year 2 different?
In year 2, I have the expectation with what State brings back and being year 2 for O'Connor and having everything done his way, I expect to be in Omaha next year. If they're not, then I would consider that. Considering what they bring back, what they have on this roster in terms of pitching, in terms of power, this should be an Omaha team. Being totally honest, Borkey, this year's team should have been an Omaha team, and it probably would have been if McPherson doesn't get hurt. If McPherson doesn't get hurt, they win a couple more games in the regular season.
They don't draw Georgia.
They don't have to go to Georgia. So, they got as unlucky in that particular. Now they made their own luck in that situation. They had some games even without McPherson they could have won, but they didn't. But there's no question in my mind that if you have McPherson, you find a couple more wins. You probably don't get swept by Georgia and Tennessee in Starkville. You probably have a chance to at least win one of those games each, and one win out of those 6 might have been enough.
And then there's the investment component.
Yeah,
the State's investing. It's a compliment a lot into this baseball program, and that there is one stated goal in college baseball. It's on the wall of everything. It's on your T-shirts, on everything. Is to get to Omaha.
Right. I mean, where does State have its meetings in the Dudy Noble Field? What is the name of the room where the team meets before practice?
Hadad
Omaha room. What is it? What'd you say?
I said Hadad Hall.
No, it is not. So, but it's called the Omaha Room. That is the goal. I think that should be the goal each and every year. You may not always get there, but that should always be the goal. And honestly, the same thing should be said about Ole Miss. And I don't know if I would say the same things need to be said about Southern Mississippi because they have struggled to get out of regionals, but I don't have a problem with it. If Southern Mississippi is saying our goal is to go to the College World Series, your team plays at a high enough level that should be the goal. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. So he says, I'm planning to go to the watch party at the National Mall tomorrow. I'm excited. Should be an awesome environment. That is a cool place to go watch that.
That would be awesome, yeah.
I love the videos of watch parties going nuts. That might be my favorite part of stuff like this.
Yeah. The one, my buddy Robbie Donahoe, who used to work for WCBI Sports, he went viral, I guess it would have been 2002. He put together that compilation of everybody's reaction to the Donovan goal. Mm-hmm. And it's got like 50 million views or something on YouTube now.
Gosh, that was insane. That's a clip from that is the end of the show every day. It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's from that moment. Gosh. You know how long ago that was, Hadad?
It was 24 years ago. Tough.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back in just a bit.
I was feeling. What was I thinking? What was I
thinking? Super Talk Mississippi.
Introducing to you
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Great concert, by the way, is Dave Matthews. I know. People like to mock. He's great live.
It's funny, though. We talked about this last week while you were out. We got off the rails and talked about concerts you've left early. And Will said he left a Dave Matthews concert.
Oh, man, I love it.
Said it was just not good. Like the show was not good.
Drummer's awesome.
Oh, he's awesome, yeah, but I'm just saying.
Guys, what are the odds that there will be 8 new teams in Omaha next year, just like this year, and over half of them from the SEC? Well, that over half from the SEC, I think the odds are low. However, I mean, you've got Florida that didn't make it, Mississippi State that didn't make it, Arkansas didn't make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you
LSU Auburn, didn't make it.
Auburn
LSU, didn't make it.
Texas A&M, Tennessee. I mean, yeah, you got a good chance.
It's possible.
Would very much think Florida, Mississippi State, Arkansas. You got to think LSU will bounce back. Otherwise, they're going to be. If they don't bounce back, it'd be interesting if they didn't. If they had another bad season, would they fire Jay Johnson? What a weird career, right? 2 national titles, but he got fired after 5 years. I don't know.
Those people would do something like that.
And then they'd get Mike Bianco.
No, they already went down that road once, remember?
It's time to come back. $6 million a year. Let's go.
Jeez. Better load up on bullpen pitchers, somebody says about State.
I got to get a few more, yeah, for sure. They got to get a couple more arms.
At a minimum, I expect State to host the Super next year.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that expectation at all.
Do a lot of high school players come to college this year anticipating the MLB lockout? I do think that's noteworthy.
Very possible.
Especially the ones that have some pretty darn good NIL deals in front of them. Mm-hmm. It's like, am I really going to go get sent to single A and then there's a lockout and I have no idea when I'm playing again?
Right.
Or I go play in college where there's no lockout and they'll give me a couple $100,000 to do it.
I mean, it's a very real thought process there, you would think.
Vanderbilt, another one on that list, a candidate to. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But still, I mean, they amass talent. And
I think Vandy's days of amassing talent is coming to an end.
It's almost like they had a built-in advantage.
It is, and then they don't have it anymore.
Well, it says State needs a defensive catcher.
I mean, if Maluski's going to hit 250 with 20 bombs, I can live with him not being able to throw out a ton of runners.
Somebody says, we walked out on the Black Crows a few weeks ago in Nashville. Oh, that hurts my heart, man. They're that bad live? I've never seen them, but I love the music.
We're talking about Pat Green?
See, nowadays, they loop you in with the crazy ticket prices and fees that you're less likely to walk out because it's like, well, I paid $120 to see this crap.
You got to really want to go. Be like, this is awful. I'm wasting my time. Just call it a sunk cost and get out of there.
I did that in the movie Bruno. I don't walk out of much. If I pay, I'm going to see it through. I walked out of the movie Bruno. The one scene in particular.
Is that the Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Yep.
That's one, though, you kind of feel like you should have known what you were getting yourself into.
The one scene where...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, that was it. I was good after that. I was like, you know what? Borat was funny. This movie was funny. I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've walked out of any, like, noteworthy live music bands. I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers on a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they're great live, but they were not good. Not sharp at all when I saw them. Didn't walk out, though. I've ever walked out on a show.
No.
Only walked out on one movie.
No. I've never walked out on a movie. Like the worst movie I ever saw, I was into it until the very end. But then the ending was bad, and I was like,
What movie is this?
Blair Witch. I was
People
locked
thought
in.
That was real.
It's impossible to describe to people nowadays that before social media and before the internet really took off, that we thought those people were dead. And
Paranormal Activity was kind of like that, too.
I think at that point, though, we knew about the found
and the internet
footage
helped.
Genre. But, yeah, Blair Witch, people were like, are those kids actually dead? And they did a good job of, like, hiding them, which sucked for them. Like, they didn't get to – you would think they could capitalize on other roles, and they couldn't do any of that. So,
hope they got paid for that.
They did not. They did not make a ton of money on that. I listened – they did a rewatchables on that. And those guys, they didn't get a lot of money.
Gosh, this is a great topic. You need to bring this back up tomorrow. We're getting good text. Daughtry's the only concert I walked out of. Batman Forever, the only movie. Another one, I walked out of Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin was worth walking out on. I didn't go see it in the theater.
Walked out on Widespread Panic on set break because I thought it was over. Oh, no.
That's funny.
Oh, man. Hey, Dad will carry you for the next 3 hours of the week, starting tomorrow at 3 o'clock. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy your baseball. Enjoy your U.S. Open. Your Father's Day as well. I will see you guys on Monday. Hey, Dad, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.